Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there in Heat Nation. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Appreciate you all stopping by and checking out the channel. So I wanted to get to this from Dwyane Wade Day and his speech. He had a great speech today at the Kaseya Center. His statue got unveiled, and he had a couple of interesting things to mention about winning, legacy, and then kind of threw out a challenge to the current roster. And then I tweeted out something that he said in his post-speech press conference when he was asked about this, and this got a lot of traction in Heat Twitter, because they think there's a lot of juice to this quote. I think people are looking a little bit too much into it, but I'm here to hear everybody out. So anyway, Dwyane Wade gets his statue today, and one of the big things he wanted to point out was you don't get this without winning big.
We're not here because the Miami Heat organization like me. We're here because we're champions. You don't get this unless you win. You understand that? You guys are winners. The city is a winner. The state is a winner. We won championships, y'all. And so the work that was put in behind the scenes when the doors was closed was some of the hardest things that we've ever done to believe. And so I'm one of the lucky ones because I had an organization that I was drafted to. I had coaches on the sideline. I had players, not all of them. Some of them we got in here and got out of here. They weren't the culture. They weren't a part of the culture. They didn't represent it right. But I had people who believed in me, and they believed that I can lead us. And so because of that belief, I gave everything that I had to the game. And that's why I walked away 6 years ago feeling complete, because I gave it all.
All right, so there you go. That was him starting to get to the crescendo of his speech, talking about, yeah, you don't get this without winning. I'm not here because I'm a nice guy. I'm here because we won. And, yeah, he represents everything great. I mean, you want to talk about the hilarity of what the Miami Dolphins did on the field today, and any sliver of hope that anybody had was back with Tua making his way back to the field, and it's stamped with a snap going through his hands for a safety that led to, a complete Jenga tower falling, and their season probably going up in smoke, most likely going up in smoke. And then miles down the road, Dwyane Wade, the man who's done all the winning while the Dolphins have just yacked all over themselves, is now immortalized with the statue and says, yeah, it's all here because of winning. And now he's got all the things that Don Shula and Dan Marino do, although he does have 3 more rings than Dan Marino, which is why I put him above Dan Marino. I think it's a fair thing. But I get it for the older generation who wants to put Danny there. That's fine. No qualms in me, just a disagreement. Well, people are allowed to disagree and have a difference of opinion on who the guy who represents Miami sports is. To me, he's our Michael Jordan. I mean, like that's what Dwyane Wade has represented. He is the reason for anything of elite sports and elite sports winning that we've had here in the last 20 years since he was drafted in 2003. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy that he gets this distinguished honor as the first person to get a statue. Looked good, by the way, and I don't think it's going to be the last one. I wonder if the guys who are up there thought of, Pat Riley kind of hinted at Udonis Haslem potentially getting a statue.
Chop it up like Udonis can. He's got an OG podcast where they use 4-letter words and talk a lot of stuff about Coach back in the day, but this is not about that right now, UD. One day we'll have that. Put your statue up here, but You got the wrong side. You know,
Alonzo Mourning. I think Zoe. I think UD. UD would be great because him and D Wade always there forever. I think there'd just be something beautiful about that. But I do think Alonzo Mourning is interesting. Getting a chance to speak with him recently, and I just don't feel like he's respected the way that he should be. Because he's essentially a role player on the championship team, but he was the first elite player that the Miami Heat had. And I just think that he's overlooked in a lot of ways. And I think that'd be really cool. We're throwing all these honors out. I don't know when the right time to do something like that is, but one day. But D-Wade was obviously the first guy who should have gotten it for sure. Listen, Zoe has the distinction of the first man to ever have his jersey retired. D-Wade, very rightfully, first guy to get his name in a statue. Anyway, let's get to the juicy part. So, Dwyane Wade gets to this part of the speech. All right, and mind you, at this ceremony, you have Bam, you have UD. You have Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez, Thomas Bryant. I think Pelle Larsson was there. I think Keyshawn Johnson was there. Those were the guys that I all saw on either social media or whatnot. I did not see Jimmy. I did not see Tyler. I don't think Duncan Robinson was there, but I'm not sure. Can't say that he wasn't. But anyway, Dwyane closed out his speech. And I thought this was a really cool thing from Dwyane because I do think a lot of the times there's always like this, is it Dwyane or Pat? Is it Dwyane or Pat, right? It's kind of the Miami version of Belichick Brady. And look, like Belichick Brady ended very frosty and then it was over. The beautiful thing about Dwyane Wade and Pat Riley is it had a very, very bad breakup. And then it had a really beautiful reunion. And sure, I think there were times, or even when D-Wade's career, he was still pissed about stuff, but I do think as time has gone, like that stuff has all really melted away. I mean, the way that those two kind of looked at each other after the speech was over today was a really, really cool thing to see. A really, really cool thing to see. And, man, yeah, Dwyane mentioned today, like the end of his basketball journey, like what's left after this, he doesn't really know. Maybe he's going into broadcasting. I know that he has the ownership in the Jazz, which we all think is weird. Though it does seem like a good business opportunity. Like he not only has ownership in the Jazz, he has ownership in a hockey team now. Like D-Wade deserves to make some money, dude. Like he did play for the Heat in the minimum the last 2 years. So I'm getting off track. My point of this was, I know everybody thinks that Pat and D-Wade have like this frostiness that's never going to be thawed, right? And D-Wade made it a point to end his speech today quoting Pat Riley.
To sum up what legacy is. And when I say what legacy is, legacy for this organization and what we believe in. And those words are from the Godfather himself, from Pat Riley. And these are words and actions that Zoe, UD, myself, and now Bam have held and will continue to hold. Legacy. I don't have a vision of what my legacy is. You have to develop a philosophy. It's an image of a desired state that you want to get to. A house divided against itself will not stand. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Current Miami Heat players, y'all hear that? A house divided against itself will not stand. You're either in or you out. You don't merely want to be considered the best of the best. You want to be considered the only ones who do what you do. You want to make sure that one day you'll leave some footprints. And I think that legacy is what it's all about. You want to leave something behind that people can follow and that people can hold on to.
That is a quote from Pat Riley. If you guys have seen, like, even the montages that have been put out for the Pat Riley court, like you've heard Pat Riley, a house divided itself cannot stand. You're either all in, or you're out. You're either all in or you're out. And yeah, Dwyane made it a point for all the current Miami Heat players to know that you guys have to be all in on this. I thought that was freaking awesome, dude. You know, I don't remember a moment like that Dwyane post career. I know that he's had the moments where he's reached out to Bam. I know that he's got the relationship with Jimmy. You know that he said really good things about some of the young guys on this team and whatnot, right? But that's a call out. I was like, whoa, okay. Now, he was asked about this afterwards. He was asked about his message. He was asked about why specifically he mentioned Bam amongst the greats. And Bam is, look, guys, Bam is been thought of as like the next carrier of the culture torch since he was 19. Since Alonzo Mourning, saw him as a hardworking kid. They just thought this kid's about it, you know? And so D-Wade was asked about that call to Bam, and he goes, I didn't just call out Bam. Notice, I called out the entire team. And he explained why.
I mean, we speak a lot. We always have, UD, myself, the organization, have spoke to Bam at this level for a long time. And it's not pressure, it's just opportunity. You know, I mentioned Alonzo Mourning. I mentioned Udonis Haslem. I mentioned myself. And then I mentioned Bam. To mention Bam with those likes, I mean, that's respect. Because we see him as, someone who's going to continue to, take on everything that we learned here and everything that we've passed on for this organization to be successful. And you don't have those players. They don't come around often. You have a lot of talented players come around. You have people that do great things, but you don't have cornerstone individuals that can take your culture and keep it going. And so I just spoke on that, and I've spoken to him. I spoke to the team too. You heard me. All right, house divided will not stand. As this, I want to be a part of winning. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, and this is going off beat. I was jealous watching the Boston Celtics the other night because I saw KG and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen out there. I know Ray here, but I was like, man, I want to be that guy. I want to be the old guy to come back with the team win the championship. And so it's important for me to set that example and to be that example, but not to be the only one. And so we're thankful for Zoe because he said it. You did not follow. And Bam has to be thankful for us because we said it, and now he's following it. And so hopefully it keeps going.
I just tweeted out that video, and so people took that house divided thing, and I think they were thinking Dwyane, that was just Dwayne's. Dwyane was parroting things that Pat Riley had said, but he's echoing it. Like, everybody has to buy in this together. And it does feel like this Heat team this year is buying into all this stuff together. We'll see. We'll see what it becomes, but I thought it was cool to see Dwyane, because everybody does this thing with him. They're like, oh, he's in the Jazz now. Oh, he left. Flat out, dude, if you're a person who ever says that Dwyane Wade, A, doesn't live here, B, left for Chicago, Cleveland, or C, D, whatever the F I'm at, owns the Jazz, and that doesn't make him a pure Heat, you're an asshole. Just flat out. If that's the way you feel, and that's your opinion. Your opinion is wrong, and it's stupid, but that's just an asshole opinion. The man, as you can see, all the city come out there, cheer for him today. That man bleeds Miami Heat. He still bathes in it. He's the reason that they are at the status that they are at. He is the number one reason for that. I will put him above Pat Riley. Pat Riley's right there, but D Wade doesn't happen without D Wade. Players play. Players are the biggest reason and the biggest driving force. And it was cool to see, like, hey man, what you guys gonna do? You just gonna let Boston take this thing? You guys gonna buy in? You gonna listen to Eric Spoelstra? Are we good here? Like, what's gonna happen? I thought it was really cool to get that call out from Dwyane and to really say, like, what you guys gonna do about this? You guys gonna sit here and that was a nice run. Hey, thanks for getting to the finals. Or is everybody gonna buy in, pick the cells up? Because Dwayne's been there. He's been in the battles with Detroit, banging his head against the wall, losing in epic fashion, having to get over the top. He's been there against Boston, taking a game against the big three in their prime when he had nobody else next to him, and then finally getting some teammates to go out there and whoop their ass, but also having them having an epic failure where everybody's laughing at them for a 2011 loss and having to bounce back for that for back-to-back championships. He's been there, man. He's been there. And while Udonis Haslem is always there and is like the Heat safety blanket because he is always there and you're always going to take his words, and when he throws a chair and whatnot, it is something when one of the greatest players of all time says it. It does have a different kind of volume to it, a different kind of tone to it. So I'm curious because I know that there's a lot of respect in that audience in the way Terry Rozier looks up to Dwyane Wade and the way Jaime Jaquez looks up to Dwyane Wade. Obviously, his close relationship with Bam Adebayo and the coaching staff. So I'm curious to see how they all take this. People took this quote on social media. They thought it was a jab at Jimmy Butler. One, I don't think that's the case at all. I think, first of all, he's quoting Pat Riley. He's not saying a house is divided. He is not saying that there is a rift. It's a Pat Riley saying. And second of all, Dwyane Wade and Jimmy Butler, to my knowledge, have a good relationship. Obviously, Jimmy is a reason that Dwyane Wade came here. They did have a friendly interaction that I saw at the Pat Riley ceremony on Monday of this past week. So basically a week from today, a week from tomorrow. So I don't think this was a shot at anybody. I think it was just a message, and I think it was, hey, current Miami Heat, you gonna start doing some real winning, or we're just gonna let Boston have all the stuff? Because I want to come back and I want to celebrate another championship as the old timer. Let's see if it does anything for this roster and if it motivates him in any type of way. But either way, it was pretty cool when he did it. I was like, yeah, that's Goosey's right there. The GOAT's telling you, get your ass in gear.